enthusiastic. Oh my gosh. So it's a great day for Accuquilt cutting. I want to ask you, how many of you were here last month? Let me see.
Yay.
Whoa, did you get your quilt done? I did, at least my top, and I can't wait to show you. It is hot off the long arm quilter, and you have to make lots of noise. Whoa.
Eleanor's.
Is that pretty?
Bright colors.
And Teresa is so excited because I did all the triangles, all the borders, everything myself.
She did.
Except the long arm quilting.
And the last border.
And the last border because I didn't have it. But anyhow, this is the bear tacks that we did last time. It's so much fun just with 4.5, 2.5, and 2.5. And it was out of a layer cake. I loved it. And I have more of the same fabric, and I was gonna sell it to one of you, but I decided I'm keeping it myself because I think I'm gonna make it for Patty. But anyhow, I had a hard time. Look at the backing. I just thought it was fun. Isn't it pretty? And Amy did all the quilting on it, so I am gonna put the binding on it. I'm gonna put the flange binding on it. Very exciting. So, that was last month's business. Are you ready for this month? Yes. I am so excited. I love this pattern, but I tell you every time, I love this pattern. And I'm going to make it easy for you. Only 2 different sizes of dies. Ooh, you excited about that? Yes. No confusion, no confusion. Okay, the first size, you guys are all going to know, 2.5-inch squares. This is from the 8 cube, shape 2. Got it? Yep. 2.5-inch square. Can you remember that? All right, that's good. And the next one is from the companion set, 8 cube. It is for the corners, and it's the chisel. Are you excited about that one? Yep. Let me show you. Okay, the chisel. I love the chisel. Okay, here's all of the little shapes in here, and I'm gonna open the box. Woo! And take it out. Oh my goodness! And it is shape 9. Let me see, like this, and you pull this out. And there it is. All right? Yep. All right. So everything in this stack was made with the chisel. Is that exciting? So the thing is that you can use Accuquilt, and I can't imagine you wouldn't use Accuquilt. But you can also use a quilt in a day ruler just in case. There's 2 different groups, right? Okay, you ready to see all these quilts? Okay, and this is, we don't call it the chisel or quilt in a day. We call it the wedge. Mm-hmm. The wedge. But it's the same thing. One's just a little longer than the other. So anyhow, we have a whole stack, and the first one, and Teresa, are you going to help me, or am I going to do it? Oh my goodness. Huh?
What would you like me
I'm
to
good.
do?
I'm not going to do it all by myself. Okay, so first one we're just going to show you is the Mexican star. Oh, the wedge, or the chisel, 2.5-inch squares. Got it? One pattern. Okay, and now this one is one of my favorite ones. I tell you what's always my favorite one. And the second one, the chisel, the wedge, Mexican star. Oh, she's got 2 of them. Patty did this one because this is the only quilt that has stars in the corners because we thought it took too much time, so we all left it out. And you can do it too. Oh, Patty just walked in. Oh no, you heard. Yes, I said we all thought it was too hard, so we didn't even want to do it. And one more. Good. So you've got 3 of them. And I'm going to check. Okay, now the next one. Coming up, change another pattern done with a chisel or the wedge. And this one is called the water wheel. Isn't it fun? The water wheel. There's the chisel or the wedge if you want to do it by hand. And we put some prairie points all around the outside. We found out that prairie points tend to last longer if they are put in the inside of the quilt, in between borders, instead of on the outside edge. They get a little too floppy. So that was our concept on that one. Beautiful. Okay, I'm checking. Okay, finally, we come to the braid. Okay, this braid was actually made a few years ago, and I just lost my wedge pattern. Oh, it's over there. This is the first one that we did, and you can see that we made the braids scrappy. They're on one side, on the right side, they're one color, and on the left side, they're a second color. Okay, can you tip out there and show this audience too? I always worry about you guys over there. And to make it even more fun, this is called the framing border around the outside. And the framing border has rickrack to just accent, really pick it up. And so much fun. Let's see. Oh, look at the back. It's really, really cool. Good. Okay, so now we're coming up with an all-new one. This one Teresa did. This is on the cover of your pattern. Look at the back. Is that wild? Ooh. Oh, thank you, Alan. Jeez, he's clapping. Well, you can all go, ooh, louder, louder. So I called it the blended braid because Teresa went into a roll of 2.5-inch strips, and she blended the colors. Can you see? She started down here. Let's say this was her first one, and she really thought it was pretty. And then she moved into the next color, and then she did red. And she just blended from the bottom to the top. Oh, like magic. Guess what she used? That is really fun. Look at that. And this is what I really like. I thought that Teresa was just a genius and got those colors all blended beautifully. And then I found out if you just look at the jelly roll, the manufacturer already does it for you, right? So the point is, when you take off the ribbon, you lay it out very carefully. So you can just follow it. But the hard thing is this one is lap, and it only has 18 different braids, 18 little steps, 18. And so how many are in a 2.5-inch roll? 40. That means you've got to eliminate some, huh? Or make a second one. Or make a third one. That's a pretty good buy, huh? Don't you think that you can get all of those? I think that Teresa's is just beautiful, and what I really want you to notice is the beautiful quilting. It's like a beautiful braid. Is that the braid from the long armor? The braid just in the lattice and in the frame up here in the border. And it is in the braid itself, but you can't really see it, huh? No, actually,
the braid is
she did. She went curvy.
Yes.
How can you expect us to see it, Teresa?
You can see it. Right there.
Can you see it?
Right there.
Can you see it? Oh, good. This is a really, really busy back, huh? Really, really busy. That's really fun. Okay, that's really good, and I love this. And I wonder if we have these available at Quilt in a Day.
Maybe.
Just a few. Well,
Probably, huh? Probably. That's really fun. You know what? I picked up one that I was over in the art department where they were getting other patterns ready, other jelly rolls, other 2.5-inch strips. And I picked this one up and I thought, oh my gosh, look how nice. It's just blended. It's all in order. Isn't that nice? That is so easy. You can just follow right along because one steps from the next. It's different scales of prints, different values, and it's all in order. The first one and the second one. Ah, I like that idea, huh? Plus you need to have 2.5-inch squares. Let me keep those. I might need those. Okay. And so now we have Patty. She came just in time. So this one was rotary cut. Rotary cut. She used our wedge ruler from Quilt in a Day, hand cut, and pieced it together. You'll notice that the braids, the width of this is just a little wider than the Accuquilt one. And so it's really fun, but this is our new line of fabric. It's called Zilly Ann. Zilly Ann is the name of the founder's daughter of our hometown of Zillionople. Very German, listen. Zillionople means it's the town of Zilly. And her name was really Zilly Ann. And so this is my new line coming out with Benartex. It'll be out shortly. It's roses, every shape and size of roses with checks and lots of stripes, beautiful framing it. Zilly Ann had a garden that was a block wide in Zillionople. Are you going to remember that? Zillionople, everything about Zillionople you're going to see. But Patty did this one. She wanted it a little bit longer, so she put 21 2.5-inch squares. Teresa only used 18. Patty likes tall men. And you can show the back. Isn't that pretty? I'm glad you guys went, is that cool? Is that pretty? It's beautiful. All right, we love that one. Okay, the next one I did, I'm on the back page, and I was the first one, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just made it up as I went. Aww. Isn't it cute? Is it cute? I think it's cute. And I have to tell you, I didn't read the directions. I just looked at the picture. I set mine together a little bit different. So, okay, is that okay? Just look at the picture, right? That's what you guys all do anyways. I spend hours writing all those words and you just look at the pictures. Is that true? But anyhow, this is just called a baby quilt. There are 12 2.5-inch squares in it. It's definitely blended. Patty looked at it and she said there's nothing consistent about it. But then she found out there's white background rows twice, and that made it consistent. Yay! And I love the backing, the border and the backing. I just thought it was so cute. Well, I started out, I'm going to show you, okay, hold on to that. So just show that one, stand there and just hold that one. Oh, you can put it up, okay. I started out with that one and I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I had more strips. And so I said, okay, I'll make a border. Or make a little quilt for the Julian Women's Club to sell at their show. This will be a table runner. So that one came from the same package. And I was still not done. And so I made a table runner. And I have a really long table. Isn't it cool? I Oh, so once I got the braid done, I still had little narrow strips. I put little narrow strips. They're all different colors. But I thought it was fun. And then I finished the outside edge with a 2.5-inch strip. It was actually from a 2.5-inch strip roll, all light. Cool. I can't wait to get it quilted. I'm going to show you. I love these little table. Are you going to move them? I did. The scrap bag. I got it all from the scrap bag. I go through the warehouse and I look at all this stuff and I go, oh, can I have one of those? I have to take everything out with me. And they say, put it on my account. I've told you, I don't know who pays my account. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. This is going to be scary. Oh, just cut the ends? Okay, this is very fun. Oh, look, I'm doing, oh, yeah, you would be really wise. I'm dangerous. There you go. Oh, look at this. Scrap bags. Oh, this is a gorgeous one. Oh my gosh, I want to open all of them, but you can see through the little window what's inside. Are they all different? Oh my gosh, different. This is Easter colors. Oh my gosh. Okay, so are you getting excited? I am. I love this.
That one's going to be ruined, so I'll have to buy it.
You'll have to buy it, Alan. Look at this. Is that pretty and bright? It's like you never know. Whenever I picked out mine, I had no idea. I just took one. Honestly, I took one and I opened it and I said, okay, after I opened it, I can't give it back. Look how cute it is. Very Eastery looking. Oh, I can see we could start at pink and go into orange, into green. Is that cute? Ooh, I lucked out. I don't know if I'm going to share this with you, Alan. Okay, so look, we got lots of them, and they look all different. Ooh, cool. They're all very springy. I love them. And they're a little bit wider than 2.5. Okay, Teresa, now you have to take this out of here because we got to cut these up. They do videos of me working in the warehouse. You know that's all set up. I don't really work in the warehouse. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so what we're going to do is cut these up. There's first in this pattern how to cut rotary cut by hand, but we're going to skip all that, right? We are skipping that. We are not going to be cutting by hand. We're going right for our Accuquilt cutter. And we are going to go to page 5. Page 5. Okay, so this is the chisel. I need the chisel. And I need a mat the same size. And so it's very, very easy. Oh, Teresa, can you grab me a pair of scissors? Okay, so let us see. Should we just start with a group of pink? Look at them, I love them. Or should I do orange? I'm wearing orange. Pink. Pink. So look, we could take these 3 pink right off the bat, right? That's a nice blending. So we're not going to mess these up, but we're just going to take these. Okay, oh, show them my box. I need a box now, Orion.
Another one?
Another one. Aren't they cute? I love them. They have a little plastic thing. Thank you, Orion. So this is to keep them in order. And yes, I'm sorry, I do have quite a few of them. But see, you just can put them in the bottom and then clamp them down and just keep on taking them out. But I did leave a couple just for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna take the strip. I love this pink one right here. Okay, So the first thing I'm going to do with my strip is cut it in half. Okay, cut my strip in half. Just take my strip, fold it in half, fold it in half again. That's pretty easy. How hard could that be? And this is 4 layers. That's good. So on my chisel, Teresa always marks the 1/4 inch lines around the outside edge. If you're using a real 2.5 inch strip, this looks a little wider, which is really cool. But if you're using a 2.5 inch, the lines on that 2.5 inch strip line up right with the blades. You don't have anything extra, but with these little, with the scrap bags you do. Okay, I've got my label on the side, cover it up, it's turned on. So I am only doing how many layers? How many are you supposed to do? You can do up to 6, but if you take a whole strip and fold it up, how many layers is that?
8.
Look at that. So don't throw this away. Don't throw the triangle away. You are allowed to cut off these and get rid of them, but keep this for another project. Okay? So that's the first one. Okay, and so now we're just going to take that same one, the other half. You've got a little salvage on it. Fold it so that you're not including the salvage. Just take it, fold it in 4ths, put it right on there. See, the salvage is not included. And cut. Is that easy? I know. Teresa and I had a really fun time. At first I thought, oh my gosh, I have to cut all those strips. For a baby quilt, you only need to cut up 12 strips, because out of those the 2.5 strips, you have 4 pairs. And that's enough for 3 rows and an extra one. A table runner. Okay, you want to take that one? Okay, and so save this. Teresa's saving all of this. She's making an amazing project. I am too. I'm doing my pinwheels. Okay, that's good. That's yours. Okay, this is yours too. And now, while I am here, oh look, I can't resist. These are so beautiful. Okay, so Teresa, I want to cut my 2.5 inch squares to put with my braid. But you know me, I'm always in a hurry. I could cut 4 at a time. If I did 4 times 6, how many would that be?
24.
That would be pretty good. That would be okay. That wouldn't be bad, right? But look what I got. I had to go bigger. I got a multiple die. And it has 9 2.5 inch squares. And we use 2.5 inch squares all of the time. So this is a 7 inch strip, a 7 inch strip, 7 or 8?
It says right, 8.
8, it's 8. I said 7. It's 8 inches wide, and if you take it and fold it in 5 parts, that's 8 times 5. No, 8 times 9 is, oh my gosh. 5 times 9. 5 times 9. I'm getting my math. I should know. I've been helping Jonas with his multiplication. I don't know why I'm so messed up. I have 5 squares and it makes 9. So 5 times 9 is 45. Is that enough?
That's enough for your baby one.
Is that enough for you? And look how lovely they are. So let's just take this away. Oh my gosh. And just look at that. Perfect. 2.5 inch squares. Good? I think I really like this one. I'm very excited about it. Okay, Teresa, what you're going to have to do is come over here really quick and cut me more pink wedges, okay?
Pink wedges.
Pink wedges, okay? So let's put that, and I'm just going to come over here and make a nice, neat stack. How are we doing? Are you guys with me? That's easy so far, isn't it? I know. Just think of all the pieces that I showed you in that autumn leaves. How many pieces I used. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and turn to page 8. Page 8. And what I'm going to do is take my first color and I'm going to open it up and make a stack of left and right. Right? Let me see how good she's doing. Oh, she's doing good. So maybe I'm just going to stack them behind and then stack them all up together. Open them up, left and right. They are mirror image. Ooh, they're so pretty. Okay, and I'm just going to take the right stack. Okay, is that what your picture says? Take your right stack, separate it, leave your left stack there, and what we're going to do is sew a 2.5-inch background square onto every right piece. And I'm going to take this one too. Oh, I love this one. Oh, Ryan, these are so cool. They're like spring. Oops. I got to get them going right. Mirror image. There. I'm doing good. Okay. So you can just keep on cutting, Teresa. Put it in order.
Oh, you wanted more?
That's good. This is all that I can sew.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
So
That's pretty.
she's got my machine all set, red thread. Okay. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put my 2.5-inch squares right beside it and get it all lined up and use 1/4 inch and just assembly line sew. Write down those pieces and you do every single right braid that you're going to put in. So you need to count them. You need to have 12 per side for the baby and 18 for the lap. And we did not give you continuing sizes of yardages, but you just measure the person that you want to give the quilt to and keep on sewing until you get that size, right? And then measure the width and just add it on, okay? So it's the easiest thing ever. Once you get the technique, you just keep on going and you don't have to worry about all the sizes and everything, because out of that one 2.5-inch strip, out of that scrap bag, you saw how many things I got. And in the 2.5-inch strip rolls, you can get usually 3. We'll do the math. Okay, 18, if you had 18 and 18 are how many? 36. And border, yeah. So you just keep on multiplying. Okay, and look how cute these are. Do you have a hot iron, Teresa?
Oh, do we have to press?
Huh?
I'll
Look how
get it.
pretty. You took me serious. Look what she did. Turn and show them to Eric.
Ryan can see it.
Are they beautiful?
I'll throw that one away.
You don't like that? No, I like those. I like those. They're really pretty. Okay, so do you have your iron hot?
I don't even know where my iron is.
Okay, fine. Here, we got an iron. Okay, look at this. Forget the iron.
I don't know. I don't have where to plug
It's
it in.
okay. Look what I
Sorry.
have. I have a nail. Okay, so I'm just going to open that up and go like that. Oops. Ah, how does it say how to press the seam? Look at this. You just assembly line press right along there. Just open them up. And usually whenever we want to press the seam. Yeah, I am. What did I say? Did I say that? Okay, so usually when we want to press in one direction, we put that piece on the top. That's why I sewed with the triangle on the top. You should always put your pieces right sides together. You should always sew an item to it. That would be very good. See? Usually you don't just sew single pieces. Oh gosh, I got a little nervous up here. All you people looking at me. And now, I look in my new cabinet. Did you notice my new beautiful koala cabinet with my drawers? Yes, in one of my drawers. And my cutting gizmo. Okay, so now we have to really keep these in separate order, okay? Boy, I have lots of pretty ones. I can't wait. I'm going to have to do this. I'm supposed to go to Julian and build a tree house today. I don't think I can do that. Okay, so now I'm going to actually go back just the same order that we were in, okay? And now they're all beautifully pressed towards the square. Right stack, left stack, same order, okay? So now we're going to start. First take, I'm at the bottom, take a left strip, lay it out like that. Take a right strip, like that. That's the picture right at the bottom of page 8, right? Okay, cool. I'm just going to sew one for you. One long strip. Okay, flip it right sides together. And this time it's just a little different. This is the start of the braid. We're starting at the bottom and we're going to work from the bottom up to the top. Get out your stiletto, handy, handy. And it's all set up so that you can lock your seams and everything lays perfect right until we're done. Okay, so line it up 1/4 of an inch. And on this one, you only need to sew right to there if you're only going to do one. If you're going to do assembly line, which I'll show you that in just a minute, okay? And cut it. Okay, so now this is the clue. The strip that is on the left, you just flip the seam towards that strip and press the seam. Does that look pretty already? Very, very pretty already. Okay, and you can see there is an arrow in your pattern pressing toward the left. Okay, so now we're already going to get the next pink. I can't wait. Okay, let's turn it like this. Put it right beside it. It matches at the top. Flip it right sides together. And now you see the seam is going to go down, so you don't have to fight it. No fighting! No fighting seams. Line it up and get going. Okay, this time you can go the whole way down. This time there's just a little Accuquilt notch that sticks out. Just line that up, just hold that down there. Stop. Okay, this is the rule. The strip that you just added on, I kind of like flip it open and tuck that seam under. Cut it like that. All right, and now the next one. Oops, would this work? No, that won't work. I have to go down my pile. How's that? Okay, so whenever you flip it open, your seam right here in this corner, in this little 2.5 inch square is going to lock. It's going up here, underneath it's going down. So they lock. Don't you love locking seams? They say nestle, don't wrestle. So it just goes really good. Teresa, I feel like I need to have more pieces.
Well,
I could just go on and on. That's what's really fun about this. It's so simple that once you get started, you can just
You
keep
want
on.
me to cut you more?
No, it's okay. We'll move on. We have lots to show. Okay, and so then just give it a little tug here. Underneath your seam is going up. You have to make sure you're flipping it up. And cut it. Okay, what's the rule?
Open and tuck,
Open and
tuck under.
tuck under. Open, tuck under. And just run your fingernail along there. That's so pretty. Ah, okay. We're gonna go to the left again. That's getting pretty, huh? So now you just flip it so it's underneath. Seam is going down. So what other colors do we have there, Teresa? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. What others would you like me to cut? You have all beautiful colors.
All beautiful
You
colors.
want me to pull another pink one?
You put it in my box already.
I did.
My box.
There.
I didn't get to see it. Turn it and show me. Look how pretty. That's just beautiful. Okay, so tell me the
she's
words.
Gonna continue.
I sewed it. Open and tuck it under. And just run your nail. And now we need to get the same one across from it. It's going, it's going. And this is going to lock. You just, when you take the one with the little 2.5 inch square, you just take it and like start and like roll it in so that it locks at that 2.5 inch square. Okay. So I think I only get to go one more. All right. Okay. And it looks really good along the side. Okay, open and you're going to remember that, right? Open and tuck. It looks like a baby quilt already, doesn't it? Okay, now I need to have the 2.5 inch strip
cut
cutter.
more?
Yeah, I'm going to cut 2.5 inch squares. Okay.
Oh.
Strip cut. Oh, she's got everything all lined up on there. So I found out that it's really economical if you just buy like a 2.5 inch strip of white, and I'm going to show you all of that in just a minute. So out of one 2.5 inch strip, you usually get 16 2.5 inch squares, right? 16. So this is a 2.5 inch strip cutter. There are blades 2.5 inches. So if you just line it up and you let a little hang over the edge and you just roll this back and forth, making sure you cover the blades, then you can actually just line up strips the whole way down this and cut. And I'm showing you that because I'm going to show you the lattice next. I actually used this in my setting my pieces together. And I thought, you know what? This was really economical, especially since I put it on my Quilt in a Day account. So I'm just lining this up. Okay, and do you have the board? The mat?
You have it right.
Oh, I do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cover it up. 3 would be enough, right? And you just go like this, and you dance, and you let it go through, get everything out of the way. And you wait patiently till it goes the whole, oh, I forgot. You could put a smaller mat on top of that. You don't have to put this big one. That little one would have worked great, huh? Okay, so now, almost just as quick, huh? So you can spin that. Now, look at that. That's good. Just as pretty, huh? Yep. And now I have strips that I can use too. Okay, so now I'm just going to save this for my other fabrics. And now I need to have my navy, my little short braid that I did, because I'm going to show how to cut them. Okay, so now I've got a nice long one, right? I would have been really fun to do this with my pink, but I didn't have time. But here's the bottom. This is where we started, right? There's the bottom, and up here, that's the top, right? Looks the same. Okay, so now we're just going to straighten this off. And let me get my rulers. And you can go ahead, and you have to leave a 1/4 of an inch right here. Leave a 1/4 of an inch. So if you put the 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to have to turn it the other way so I can do that. Put the 1/4 of an inch, line up a straight line on the edge, and 1/4 of an inch right here. It's okay on the opposite side. And just cut that off. Ta-da! And turn it around. And what I decided that I like to do, these are kind of short. They're too short to put on there. So you make an extra braid for at the top. You make an extra braid, and the pattern does tell you that. So if I need 12 for a baby quilt, this would be number 13. You just make an extra one, and then again, line up your ruler and put your 1/4 of an inch right here. Let me get a straight line. Woo! Okay. And there's like a little chunk taken out of the corner right here, but don't worry, because that'll go right in your seam allowance. And you see the 1/4 inch seam right there? Okay, so these, they're too little, they're kind of small, they really don't work. So you get rid of those. And we need to do some straightening. And it's just pretty amazing because the little Accuquilt one, you can use your 6 by 12 ruler. And let's just look at it. Just check out my work. Not too bad. What do you think? It looks good. You know what? You better press it first, don't you think? But since Teresa didn't even bring an iron.
Sorry.
It's a good thing I pressed it before class, huh? But the way that we were sewing this, now you can start at the top and just press straight down, and all of those seams lay perfectly flat. Is that amazing? Where's your amazing noise? I mean, seriously, isn't that nice? You guys just don't get it. how nice all this is. Okay, so now it is on the bias. You do need to do a little bit of attention. Pay attention carefully. And this 6 by 24 ruler, look how amazing it is. It just fits. It just fits really good. And so if you put it edge to edge, line everything up on your, ooh, cool, new mat. And just trim off the edges, straighten along. Not much. Did you see that? Did you see that? That's pretty good. And move it along, keep it straight on your mat. And you're gonna do this to both sides. Okay, just a little bit. I'm pretty impressed. I want you to know when I did my quilt, I measured and pinned everything. That is shocking for me, isn't it?
It's on the bias though.
But,
you need to.
but it's pretty shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you, I did the charity quilt. I helped finish a charity quilt, and it was a lot of people that sewed. And I put the borders on, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna check this and find out if it's square. It was 4 inches longer on one side than the other side. That was a little crooked, wasn't it? But it's going to keep somebody warm. Okay, I'm getting the other side. We're doing good. Are we doing good? Yes. Okay, line this up. There's a big hunk sticking out there. Really big hunk. But we'll just get it. Oop, perfect. All right. So now, let's look and see. Yeah, oh yeah. This is what, this is a little bit of fuzz. This is what I was gonna do. In the scrap bag, sometimes there's narrower strips that won't fit. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna add these on the sides. Is that pretty, like that? And and this one, see, I just pieced it together. I just used whatever I had. And so I don't mind. So I cut these all exactly the same width. I cut them down to the narrowest one and made them all identical. Pieced them together. Look how pretty that is. That's gonna be good. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I put them right sides together, measured both of the sides before I started, and you just flatten them down. You just flatten them down, and you pin, and then you stitch. And I think what I'm gonna do, just do this. So what if I lay that out? And I actually like to press them. I lay them on the ironing board with the border underneath, press everything together so it's really flat. And I know that Teresa gave me pins. Totally excited. Usually there's about 3 pins right here. I'm loaded with pins. Press. Steam, yes, I like to use steam, that's good. And just pin that under, right there. And then do the second side. Oh, how am I doing, Teresa?
Great.
Good. Okay. Pull up here. Okay, and what you want to do is figure out how you can sew your borders on so you don't fight the seams. You want to turn them so that when you go down the edge, you're just sewing right over you can pull the pins out. Oh, I found out that I can just take my stiletto and just go with the pins. That works really good. But you don't have to fight the seams. Just arrange it so you can get it right down on there. And you're coming to a pin and you don't even stop. You just go, doop, get it out of there. And then you use your magnet to pick it all up, right? I got it all figured out. And you have to make that noise when you take out your pin. It works really good. Okay, so now we're going to have to pretend to press again. Okay, so you always set the seam with the stitching on the top, set the seam, and then open and press into it. And the reason that I wanted those white strips to magically appear, thank you! But I won't open them because somebody might want them. So then I just used these 2.5-inch strips in between my rows. These are all 2.5-inch strips. So it's easier for me than purchasing yardage and cutting first 2.5-inch squares and then cutting 2.5-inch strips. So that's what I wanted to show you. When I sewed mine all together, I did like a lattice of 3 pieces. That's what I thought you were supposed to do till I looked at everybody else's. Just 3. I did 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 1 1/4, and I made 1, 2, 3, 4 of them going down, and then I pinned in between every one of them, pinned each one of them, made them all the same length. I'm so impressed. And then this was my last part that I put on the top, and then I thought was really cool. And so it's similar what I did to this one, to my long table runner. I just did piece sides, piece strips, piece at the top. This was even in my roll, this fabric, this white fabric. So there's like 3 different white fabrics in there. I just used everything that I could and then put this across the top. Now, the choice that I have to make is, what am I going to bind it with? What will I do to bind it with? So you can really do like a lot of this just with the scrap bag of the pieces and 2.5-inch background. So that's pretty good, huh? Mm-hmm. I individually made my rows. I didn't know what I was doing when I started, so I just started sewing it together, and then I said, okay. I showed it to Patty and Teresa, and Patty said, shift it. So I shifted it 1, and then I shifted the 3rd one. And so I individually made 3 rows. But, of course, Patty and Teresa both said, well, we assembly line sewed. So Teresa's going to bring all of her pieces now, and she's got it all lined up so she can show you how. Are you mic'd?
Yeah, I think, yes, I am.
Okay.
I forgot I was.
Okay, so she assembly line sewed all of them for her quilt, and it's really as easy as shuffling a deck of cards. Like if you're going to shuffle a deck, don't you usually take something on the bottom and put it on the top? And then take something on the bottom, put it on top, and that's what she did. And so she's got it all beautifully arranged, all of her blended pieces on her wool pressing mat. That's beautiful. So this is which side, Teresa?
That's the left side.
That's the left side. That's the left side. And all of these are the right side. We know it's the right side because why? The white square. The white square. And on all of them. The white square is on all of them. So do you want to show? And when you look at her arrangement, don't you see this band of color going through there? Yeah? Okay.
I think she just tell you everything. But basically,
I helped
see,
out.
do you see it? I move in 3 from underneath and put it on top. And the reason I moved 3 because I feel like this was more towards the lavenders. Okay.
That was a good braid.
Then in here after the 3 then I move 4 because I feel like those kind of like went together.
See, now this one
See?
is on top.
And then if I moved another one here, it will just break it off. And then in the next one, I move the 3 purple ones. See? And it's from here to here and here, and it graduates. I couldn't tell you from the bottom because I already started making the braids, the assembling line as you go. See?
And,
You
the,
just
and then
continue.
before you can, you get the left side all kind of staggered. Cut the deck, stagger them in blended order. And before you can start sewing, you also have to find the matching right one.
I
And
have the number in case you're confused. I have my numbers underneath.
okay, you know what? I think that this is possibly it
Yes.
because the purple is on the bottom,
Yes.
and there's the purple
Yes.
on the bottom. And this is the same piece that's on the top.
Eventually, then
Yeah,
you're gonna add.
on the top.
Mhm.
And so she's got them all set. And then you want to show on your, when you start, you have to start individually. Like when you're going to make your first row, the bottom, there's really, it's kind of hard to assembly line sew because this is how you start, right? Flip it right sides together.
This is the one that goes. This goes in here.
Okay, okay.
There.
So this, when you flip it, you just go ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. And if you don't want to, you don't have to sew down here because there's nothing to sew. Unless you want to be like me and just sew anyways, with nothing there. Okay, and then after your first row is individually sewn, then you can start assembly line. Okay, now you can show that one.
Which one?
Okay,
That goes with that one.
okay. So can you open those up and show?
Oh, sure. I'm not sure.
So what she did was take the left braid of the next one. It's the left braid, and this is just how I was sewing. You flip it, put this on the bottom, flip this right sides together, pick up the second row, put your left braid there, flip right sides together, continue. And see how she's just got it all lined up. She's going to go right through and just keep on sewing. So you can do it. You can assembly line, or if you want, just do one at a time. Which way are you going to do? One at a time. One at a time. It does not take long, honestly. It does not take very long. I'd like to show you just a couple of the quilting lines. I think the quilting, I think.
What would you like?
Okay, well, I'll just point out this one. Yours, I want to show yours too because the quilting is so cool. Do you see the lattice in between when we sent it to the long arm quilter? I always think of this little quilting design as ribbon candy. You know that candy at Christmas? So she did the ribbon candy through the lattice. And then if you look very closely, she just took a stitch that it just goes back and forth just on the background square. And this is, whoop, whoop, look at that. See, it's easy for her, I'm sure. I'd have to practice for a couple of years to do that beautiful work. So it's just really stitch in the ditch down along here. Stitch in the ditch. And I think that this is very doable. It's really, really nice. And then Teresa's, I think we did already look at it, but remember it has that beautiful,
Gonna go in front.
it's a cable, it's like a cable going through all of the lattice across the top and down the sides. It's all the same. And then this one is really interesting. Whoop, and then it goes, whoop, and she's just got, it's like a big circle with it goes into the center the whole way down there. Stitch in the ditch. I could do that. Along there. And then the binding around the outside edge. Oh my goodness. I think that's it. Is that easy? I think it's really easy and it's a lot of fun, but that little 2.5 inch square down through the middle adds a lot of interest to it. And also, if you want, you don't have to make it a white 2.5 inch square. You could take some color out of your 2.5 inch roll, get it out of your scrap bag, and use that. Woo! So thank you. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming. Woo!